Anyway, so the papa. Let me repeat. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Priscilla. I make videos about career, travel, lifestyle. I just share my experiences with all of you, and yeah, so thank you so much for coming back. It's been a minute since I did a sit-down video, and I have missed YouTube so much, so I'm very happy to be back. Anyway, happy 2022. We haven't chatted in like, yeah, 2023. See, I've lost. I'm still adjusting to the new year. Anyway, I wanted to just come and we have a chat about my highlights for 2022 and where I see my 2023 going, and just some of the things that I aspire to do. We have a routine on this channel. I always make this video at the beginning of the year. Last time I made this video was in Nairobi, and a lot had just been happening, and yeah, so now I thought I'd just make the same video today. Anyway, let's get into it. Of my 2022, one of the highlights of my 2022 was I moved. If you remember, 2022 began off when I had just moved back home from Senegal, and I loved Senegal so much. I really miss I miss Senegal, I miss Dakar, I miss the people, the food and everything. It will always have a special place in my heart. And I moved back towards the end of 2021, and then I was in a transition. So I was moving from one country to another. I was waiting for my visa. So 2022, really one of the highlights was moving to Pakistan. It was a very new experience for me. I've lived in Asia for a while, so I sort of understand the culture and stuff like that. But of course, I've never been to Pakistan, so that's a whole different vibe. So just that experience of taking up a new role, and it's been an amazing journey, and it was one of my highlights. I got to enjoy the Pakistani food, to dive into the culture, like just go shopping, like just learn a lot about the people. And I had already that's one of the surprising things is I have always actually been following stuff about Pakistan, because I remember when I was I don't know how many years ago, but Benazir Bhutto was was trending, was being covered up by Al Jazeera, and I remember even watching the time that she was assassinated. I was watching the live coverage and everything, so I sort of had an idea, about what Pakistan is all about and stuff like that. So it has been a beautiful experience. That was one of my first highlights. Then of course one of my second highlights was that I'm just now thinking them off the head, guys. I didn't really prepare for this video. I should, but I just said let me just jolt myself back into shooting, and then I will start getting back into my mojo. Anyway, the second highlight was Lamu. Actually no, the travel. Yeah, I did travel some. I went to Dubai and I went to Lamu. Both were experiences I had been really wanting, but for Dubai I was a bit sad that I didn't get to skydive, because I really wanted to skydive. So that was a bit of a low for me, but I mean, Dubai is not running away, there's more time. I will skydive one day. So I enjoyed those experiences. Lamu for me still has my heart, and I think when I talk about the lessons I learned in 2022, I think that I have sealed it clearly that I love the sea. I love the sea, I love the beach, I love slow living. It's my vibe. It's honestly my vibe. I used to think when I was much younger, I used to think I'm a city girl. I like live in the fast-paced lane. Actually, as I've grown older and come more into myself, I've realized that is not my vibe. My vibe is just the slow living, the countryside. I love it, the water, the beach. That is my vibe. So I really enjoyed Lamu. It was such a highlight. I have a vlog that I made, of course, and every time I'm feeling a certain way, I go back and watch that vlog, and just reminds me how I felt that moment. And I think that's why I love to vlog, because I feel like it helps to capture my moments and my memories, and even like the feelings I have. So when I always go back to watch, and I'm like, oh, that was a beautiful day. So yeah, I love documenting my memories. Anyway, that was one of the other highlights. The travels. In terms of luxury wish lists, guys, I managed to buy one of my favorite shoes that I had been craving for years and years. It was a highlight. Just going into the Chanel store, the experience, the sales assistant, the SA, just the whole experience, and being able to carry out my Chanel, like, Sweat, my hard-earned money, you know. It was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, that was a very, very good experience for me. The highlight for me in terms of my creativity and just stepping more into my creative strengths and my creative side of Elatam was the Courageous Diaries. Guys, that was an amazing series. It was very deep. It was the first of its kind that I had done, because I had done a series before which was called 32 Amplified, but it was the beginning. I was still, you know, feeling myself into the space. I was stepping into it, and it was just so amazing. So I'm very, very happy about that. I managed to do such a series with one of my very, very good friends, Consolette. You need on your team. She's an amazing producer. So we pulled that off. We did a content creators thing. I mean, the series is on my page. You can go and watch it if you've not. It was beautiful, well shot. I worked with an amazing crew, and yeah, I can't wait to see what I'm working on next, because I think that experience showed me how much I enjoy creating and how much creating is a lifeline for me. And yeah, so I was very, very excited about that. That's one of my other highlights. And another highlight that I mean, I've not talked about much, but I can talk about now because it has finally finished, was we were working on a documentary the whole of 2022 and a bit of 2021 actually. That's when it started. In 2022 we picked up momentum. We've been working on a documentary, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, of course with Consulate and two other of our other friends. And it's really nice. You know, one thing I love, I'm very privileged, is that I have friends I can work with, friends that I can produce stuff with, and that's really something I don't take for granted, because sometimes you can be friends, but you can't necessarily work with all your friends, you know. So being friends and being able to work together is a good thing. Like, it's really, really nice. So I don't take that for granted. Anyway, so yeah, we did that documentary. It is in its final stages. We have finished editing it. We are now going to start the promotion and the rolling it out and the screening, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see something that you've worked on so hard come to, you know, maturation or come to fruition. You know, it was such a highlight for me. And then of course, in terms of my work, of course, that was an amazing, like, I feel like I have stepped into a new level of growth personally, managing a team and just, you know, working with people. And I feel like I'm in a good space. I don't talk much about my work here because I want that to be very separate from Elatam. Those are two identities that I don't mix, but it's a big part of me, and I feel like I have grown into it. I've become more confident, and yeah, so those are some of the highlights I can talk about, but also maybe more in personal growth, generally personal growth and spiritual, and my spirituality. I feel like I've grown more, you know. And you know, with growth you can't really, with like personal development or personal growth or spiritual growth, you can't really quantify it. Like, you can't measure, you know, a thing. But when things happen that would have you would have acted a different way in the past, that's when you realize, oh my god, I have actually grown. So I had so many aha moments this last year, where things happened and the old Priscilla would have been falling apart. She would have been, oh my god, the fear, the being timid, the fear of abandonment, the loneliness would have eaten her up, or stuff like that. But the me now, you know, was different. And I realized when that happened that, oh my god, wow, I didn't feel a certain way about them. Like, I kept going, and it was nice. It was quite quite interesting that 2022 brought a lot of good stuff when you think about it, you know, and a lot of growth for me, a lot of stepping into more of who Priscilla is. And I feel like as I get older and become older, I really can't wait for myself at 50, because I feel like I'm going to be badass. Like, whoa, like, if you guys think I'm badass now, at 50 I think I'll be better, because I feel like as a woman gets older and older and she's doing the work, not just for the sake of growing old, but if you're doing the introspection, the prayer, that you're just doing the emotional work to become a better human being, you really step into, you know, new things about yourself that you didn't know existed. I feel like there's layers. Every year I'm peeling back layers and layers and layers, and I like that for me, you know. So yeah, like it's been 2022, 2023, 2.5 years of therapy. And you know, the last year one of the highlights was to reduce my therapy sessions. I used to go every week, then we moved to bi-weekly, and then now we have moved to once a month. And more, it's more like not maintenance. I don't want to sound like I'm sick and I need maintenance, but it's more like just a routine check-in, and just, you know, holding a space where I can still just unpack a few things that may happen here and there every once in a while. But I feel like I have been now equipped to be able to, you know, unpack that, to know what garbage is mine and what garbage is not mine. You know, like I know now how to take that time and, you know, speak genuinely to myself and say, by the way, you were acting like this because of this, you know. So I have been able to I'm more aware now, more self-aware. Excuse me, I'm more self-aware, and I feel like yeah, that was very, very nice to see and reflect on in 2022, and I really hope that 2023 brings that more. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much guys for watching. Let's go to part 2, where we are going to talk about my lessons that I learned in 2022, and what I'm going to do in 2023. Okay, catch you in my next video. Bye.